welcome to ERi-TV English news broadcast. It's now exactly 10:30 p.m. Asmara time, and we're ready for domestic and international news for July 14th, 2025. Reporting live from our headquarters in Asmara and inviting you to stay with us is Heaven Johannes, your news anchor for this session. Let's first begin with the major headlines. National school leaving examination results announced. Eritrean Community Festival in the UK. North Korea condemns US, Japan and South Korea joint drill. And Iran condemns fresh sanctions the US has imposed against Cuba. In today's domestic report, the results of the 2025 National School Leaving Examination were announced on Sunday, July 13th. Dr. Busrat Gabru, Director of Standards and Evaluation at the National Higher Education and Research Institute, indicated that out of the 24,092 students, including 50% female students who took the examination, 12.2% achieved scores qualifying them for degree programs and 7.59% for diploma programs. Noting that the performance gap between male and female students has been improving over time, Dr. Busrat encouraged those who passed and qualified for college education to work hard to achieve their goals and to strictly adhere to college regulations. Dr. Busrat also advised students who did not achieve passing marks not to lose hope and urged them to remain engaged in education, study diligently and prepare for the next national examination. It is to be recalled that the National School Leaving Examination was conducted from 17th to 23rd March across the country, including at the international schools of Eritrean communities in Riyadh and Jeddah and Saudi Arabia. 84.1% of the examinees were regular students from Warsai Kaalo Secondary School and technical schools, and 3,861 students were retaking the exam. The 2025 Eritrean Community Festival in the United Kingdom was colourfully conducted from 12th to 13th July in London under the theme Our Cohesion, Our Armour. The festival, in which about 2,000 nationals from various cities in Britain took part, was officially opened by Mr. Saleh Abdullah, Charge d'Affaires at the Eritrean Embassy in the UK and North Ireland. Mr. Muluburhan Berha, Chairman of the Holidays Coordinating Committee, and Mr. Ahmed Mahmoud, Chairman of the National Committee, commended all those who contributed to the successful implementation of the program and thanked the participants. Mr. Saleh Abdullah stated that this year's festival was particularly significant as it was held at a time when the Eritrean people are focused on national development programs while confronting and foiling external conspiracies and hostilities. He also called on nationals to strengthen unity, foster deeper connections with their homeland, and enhance participation in national affairs. Mr. Tawalde Johannes, Head of Public and Community Affairs, also conducted a seminar for participants focusing on the objective situation in the homeland and the region. Mr. Tawalde stated that Eritrea, firmly standing by its national principles, continues to make earnest contributions to regional peace and stability. The festival featured cultural and artistic performances, sports competitions, and children's programs. We are live on ERi-TV with English News Broadcast TV viewers. Do stay tuned for the international ones after the short break. Welcome back. North Korea has denounced a joint drill by the United States, Japan and South Korea, calling such trilateral military maneuver main danger factors heightening the level of military tension on the Korean peninsula and its vicinity. On July 11th, the United States, Japan and South Korea waged a provocative tripartite joint air drill by mobilizing various kinds of combat bombers over the Korean peninsula and in its vicinity, said a statement by the country's Ministry of National Defense. The military alliances between the United States and Japan and between the United States and South Korea have completely changed into a nuclear-based triangular military alliance, and the tripartite military cooperation being promoted in all spheres represents the fact that the long-running instability and tension on the Korean peninsula can lead to an unpredictable phase of military confrontation at any moment, the statement added. North Korea further noted that it is the country's sovereign right to take countermeasures against provocative military actions, such as the moves to strengthen the multilateral military alliance threatening the security of the region. Iran has stated that it unequivocally condemns the new sanctions the U.S. has imposed against Cuba. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ismail Baqi stated that the U.S. has targeted a sovereign nation that is determined to exercise its right of self-determination and preserve its independence and dignity. The spokesperson noted that in continuation of its economic blockade of Cuba, the United States has introduced a new set of sanctions against Cuban people, and that his country condemns these inhuman measures that contravene fundamental principles of international law and adversely affect the fundamental human rights of the Cuban people. Such unjust and unlawful unilateral coercive measures would never affect the resolve of the Cuban people and their leadership in resisting American domineering whims. Iran, having endured decades of unlawful U.S. sanctions, stands in full solidarity with the people and government of Cuba, the spokesman added. On July 12th, the U.S. State Department imposed sanctions on senior Cuban officials, including President Miguel Diaz-Canel, Minister of Defense Alvaro Lopez, as well as Minister of Internal Affairs Lazaro Alberto. In January, then U.S. President Joe Biden had removed Cuba from the blacklist of countries sponsoring terrorism. But President Donald Trump returned the country to the blacklist immediately after returning to the White House as he resumed his maximum pressure campaign against Cuba. It is reported that U.S. sanctions against Cuba that go as early as 1962 have resulted in massive economic losses to the country, estimated at over $930 billion. This wraps up our domestic and international news for these Session D viewers. Let's have a quick recap of the major headlines. National school leaving examination results announced. Eritrean Community Festival in the United Kingdom. North Korea condemns US, Japan and South Korea joint drill. And Iran condemns fresh sanctions the US has imposed against Cuba. This was the World on Monday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, thank you for joining. It's officially goodbye for now.